What's going on? 22 here with my eBay monthly sales report. And this is going to be for the sales and purchases that I made for the month of February, and also the things that I'm listing for the month of March. The reason I do this is because it helps me keep my eBay store accountable as far as like keeping it stocked and things in there and stuff like that, but also at the same time giving you the viewers things that are like actually popping off and things like that. And I just find these videos interesting, so hopefully you do as well. So let's dive in, let's check out the things that actually sold, because I had quite a few that sold and it was pretty awesome. So the first thing that sold was this Raw Shack Complete set along with a promotional poster. So really cool set. I had it listed for $25. Somebody, plus shipping. Somebody sent me an offer for $18 plus shipping, and I took it because the Raw Shack set had been sitting up on eBay for a good bit then. It was not a set that I was really interested in or anything like that anymore of having. I read it and it wasn't for me. So yeah, I was happy for it to, go to somebody who was eagerly wanting it and able to read it. So, and it was the only person that's ever given me an offer on it anyways. It was relatively close, so I went ahead and took it. Next up, we had my Kanan the Last Padawan #1, Books A Million, Second of Charles, aka Fried Pie variant, CGC 9.8. that sold. I had it listed for $150. It sold for $150 plus shipping. After all the fees and everything like that, I wound up clearing about $120 or so. So I'm taking that $120 and turning it right back around and sending off more books to CGC. I can get about 4 books graded and back to me with that money. So I'm sending in an Avengers Annual 21, the first Victor Timely. I'm sending in a Black Panther World of Wakanda #1 Fried Pie variant. I'm sending in a Captain America #25. This is the first appearance of Sam Wilson as Captain America. And also I'm sending in Oblivion Song #1. There's not been any news about this book in a while, so sales are really, really low right now. But I'd love to have this book just ready to go, just in case. It doesn't take much. We saw what happens with Something's Killing the Children. That book could do the same thing. Another book I had that sold was Generations Thor #1. This was the Fried Pie variant as well. Cool cover. Not a book that I was super interested in though. Had it listed for $6 plus shipping, and that's what it sold for. I had a Spawn lot up that was 17, 18, and 19. I had it listed for $15 plus shipping, and it sold for that. And then I also had Avengers Academy number 29 through 33. These were all Avengers versus X-Men tie-ins, and the whole lot sold for $10 plus shipping. I also got the results back from the mycomicshop.com bundle that I sent in. It was like Spawn 280 through 289. I think it was missing 285. They didn't want that issue. It also includes Spawn 310 and that Thor #1 that I'd found at Second and Charles. You can maybe go back and see like that bundle of that list that I was sending in to mycomicshop.com to get store credit. They did wind up accepting all of them. I'm not going to go in real deep detail, so if you're interested in a deep detail though, let me comment down below and maybe I'll make a video about it, because I kind of have like pros and cons to doing what I did with mycomicshop.com. So in total they gave me $125.72 for the 11 books, which I thought was a really good deal. I got fair market value for the books and more, honestly. Like it was an offer I couldn't pass up. I don't even think I could have made that good of a deal on eBay. So the only thing that's a bummer is that it's store credit with mycomicshop.com, and the reason that's a bummer is because you can really only use it on their like back bins. No consignment, no auctions, no pull lists. You can't use it on any of that. So it's just strictly like whatever you want from their back bins kind of stuff. So I did wind up getting a mystery box from them, and me and the wifey did a video about it. So that'll be coming out soon, so be on the lookout for that. And it covered the shipping for that to get to the house. So I did like that. I did think that was cool. But still, those are my sales. I'm pretty happy about them. Pretty stoked. That's a lot. For me, that was a good bit of sales all at one time, because it was really towards the end of February that all these just started popping off. So I was really excited. What this has shown me, though, is that I need to do better as far as an eBay seller. As soon as something sells, I need to have at least 1, if not 2. That's what I would love to have. I would love to replace each one with 2. So like if a raw book sells, replace it with 2 raw books. If a raw lot sells, replace it with 2 raw lots. If a CGC sells, a slab sells, then replace it with 2 slabs. That's what I would love to do, is like get more on the ball with that. So again, holding myself accountable, I can sit there and look back and say, okay, this is what I need to do to make myself better, to make my store better, to make, you know, my sales better, things like that. On to the fun stuff, the things that I bought. I didn't buy much from eBay this month around, but I did buy some really cool things. So I bought 2 books, one of them being Star Wars Vader Down #1. I showed this, I unboxed this live on one of my top 10 alternative shows, so go check out those, because sometimes I do that for like a mail call Monday, and especially for the people in the chat. But yeah, it's an awesome cover. This is a book that I'm always on the lookout for. This is the Z-Box variant. What's so special about this is the actual first cover appearance of Black Chrysanthemum. This was a special, and kind of like a Europe's kind of like Loot Crate is what Z-Box is. And so I found this for $9.99, and it was free shipping. So I think all in I was at like $10.79. This is a book that I normally see for $25 to $35. So I jumped on that quick. It's definitely not a 9.8. You can see that right there. And then there's right there. But this is definitely a better copy than the other one that I have. So yeah, I'm super excited to get this. I would love to get this slabbed. And I probably am going to go ahead and do it, because to me, like, even though with the spine ticks and stuff like that, I know it's not going to get a 9.8. I know my other copy's not getting a 9.8 either. But with this book being a weird kind of variant, it being the first cover appearance of Black Chrysanthemum, I find value in that. And like, it is strictly a cover by book. So slabbing this, to me, is worth it. May not be for you, and that might not be your thing, and that's fine. That's cool. But for me, it is. The other book that I bought, this is a seller that was selling a lot of Brave and the Bold books for like a penny. Now, all the auctions were started off at a penny. There's 19 of them. So I jumped in on a bunch of them, hoping that I'd be able to get like a bunch of them for a penny. I didn't. But still, I walked away with one, which I was kind of bummed about, because I don't like the price that I paid for it. All in, I was at like $8.38. That's with the shipping. So I was hoping to like actually get more books on top of that to kind of like knock the price per book down. But still, I like the Brave and the Bold run. That's the run that I'm actually collecting. And I think this is an awesome book right here. This is Brave and the Bold #136. I love all these like Batman Brave and the Bold. That's kind of the ones that I'm going for. Eventually, I'd like to have like the keys as well and stuff. But for right now, this is pretty much what I'm going for. Pretty good looking shape. Looks like it's a newsstand as well. Not that that necessarily means a whole lot, but it's pretty cool. Those are my pickups from eBay. So let's get into what it is that I'm selling on eBay. We are going to start off with some DC, because I am going to sell some DC this time around. I'm going to let go of my Legends #1. This is not a 9.8 or anything like that. I would like to sit there and you have one of these slabbed or whatever. This is the first appearance of Amanda Waller. With Viola Davis coming back, she's been pretty much a staple in the DCU since the Snyderverse. We've seen her in Stingers and stuff like that. She was in the Suicide Squad movie. Both of them, actually. This being, you know, her first appearance. This may be actually starting to pick up. It was on the top 10 list here not long ago. She's getting her own show. I think now's a good time to put it up there and see what I can maybe get for it. Alright, this book's pretty hot. I think I found this for like $2 or something like that. It's not a 9.8 either, but it's, I think, still pretty high grade. This is Secret Wars #1. This is the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars from 2015. This book's been popping off a good bit lately because, you know, we're actually getting a Avengers Secret War movie. Thought it was a good time to maybe put this up there and see what I can get for it. Another one that is not a 9.8. One of the reasons why I'm not sending it off to be graded. But it is Avengers 293. I picked this up for a really cheap price as well. This has got a first appearance of several Kangs, including Chairman Kang, leader of the Council of Kangs, which it looks like Immortus is probably going to be that. But you never know. I mean, it doesn't take much for them to sit there and say something. King of Other Earth, King Nebula, who is Ravonna Renslayer, which I think we would actually probably see. That would be kind of cool, especially since we already have that actress. The first cameo appearance of Kang Cobra. I'm not sure who that is, or how the actual appearance is. So, pretty iconic cover. When you see it, you know it. And so, with all the Kang stuff going on, I think this is a really good book to like put out there and see what happens with it. So, yeah. Okay, I also have like this pretty much equivalent of a short box full of just Tom King's Batman run left over. I was not a fan of this at all, but like I kept collecting even though I was behind on reading, thinking that I would catch up. And just the more that I read, the more that I did not like it. So yeah, when I was actually trying to catch up. So I'm going to put all these up. I just can't decide yet whether or not I want to do a lot, or if I want to do like individual issues, kind of like what I'm doing with my Spawn stuff, and like just, you know, people can come and buy what they need as, you know, as they need it. So I like the idea of people buying what they need as they need it, but I know it's going to take a long time to sell it then. So out there, what would you rather see? Would you rather see me put this up as a lot, or would you rather see me put this up as, you know, buy as you need kind of thing? So I'd be interested to see what you had to say. This goes from like pretty much issue 33 all the way to, I think it's 110. There's a little bit afterwards. Actually, it goes to 117. It's not complete, but it's extremely close to being complete. Extremely close. I'm talking like maybe a handful of books that I'm missing. I have yet to send this back to CGC to get it fixed. I'm actually in talks with them right now to make sure they're still going to fix it for free. If not, then I'm going to sell it the way that it is. But this is my Secret Wars number 1, 9.8 that I got back from my last submission. This is a 1 in 100 variant, so it goes for a decent amount. It's not like the case is broke or anything like that. It's just got an obnoxious gap at the top that you can like really feel. The corners are still intact and everything like that, and there's no cracks or anything. So it's just an obnoxious gap. So they might not even be able to do anything with it. And it's just at the top. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. I've noticed other ones having gap too, so that might just be a normal thing. I don't know. It will definitely be going up at some point in time. It just, whether or not CGC is going to actually fix it for free or not. So I'm not paying extra to have it fixed. I'm not doing that. I just don't see a need in it. I think it's time for me to put up my Amazing Spider-Man number 4, 9.8. I've had this for a while now. In fact, I think this was like part of my very first CGC submission like 2 years ago or something like that. There was talks then about, you know, Silk having her own show and stuff like that. So I think that's like, the hype is back because they just came back and, you know, said, hey, we're going to actually do it. But as soon as they name an actress or something to that effect, or we get a glimpse or a picture, like this book I think is going to take off again. So I want to go ahead and have this up and ready for somebody to be able to grab. So that is it. Thank y'all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you're interested in any of these things, you can always find me on Instagram and hit me up there first. We can work out a better deal on Instagram than what is on eBay, fees and things like that. Outside of that, you can find me on Instagram and eBay at 22_comics. You can also find me on a podcast called Comically Comics. Once again, thank y'all so much for watching. And as always, y'all have a good one.